On today's episode of Justice Corner, we will look at a brief history of labor disputes in Jamaica and provide guidance on trade union engagement in labor dispute proceedings in the local Industrial Dispute Tribunal. Joining us on today's episode is a most fascinating Jamaican, a leader by nature, trade unionist, top negotiator, organizer, Minister of Public Utilities and Transport, Minister of Labor and Social Security, Local Government Minister, Senator, four-time author, former Speaker of the House. Ladies and gentlemen, we have joining us the Honorable Pearnel Charles Sr. Labor relations refers to the relationship between employer and employee in an industry and the political decisions and laws that affect it. The purpose of labor relations is not only to protect everyone in the workplace, but also to promote economic development, fair labor practices, peace, democracy, and social development. Sir, thank you for joining us. Thank you for lending yourself to us to give us this walkthrough, this walk down memory lane that most just seem to don't know, most just seem to be detached from. But I'd like to ask, firstly, what was it like during your days with BITU? What was the labor landscape like during those days?
Well, my days in the BITU, emphasizing organizing of workers and negotiating the terms and conditions of their employment. Whenever you think about the worker and the management at work, there are two things that, number one, the worker, how much they're going to get for their labor, the management, how much production they're going to get for what they have to pay. And there's good approach when both management and worker can unite in the production of goods from which they get benefits, wages, and other benefits. So, and this has been coming from the beginning. Mm-hmm. It has been before independence. It has been that program that brought forth riots.
An industrial dispute is a dispute between one or more employers or organization representing those employers and one or more workers or organization representing workers. There are various causes for industrial disputes. Some may include employee welfare, occupational health and safety, strikes, lockouts, workers' participation in management, or collective bargaining.
The worker wants more money for what they are doing, and the management wants more production for what they are paying out. Mm-hmm. So it's always called for a mediator. Mm-hmm. And that is where the union man comes in and he presents the workers' point to the manager, because all the workers can't speak one time. So you have to speak for them. So you meet with the workers, you hear what the terms and conditions that they would like to get, you hear what the problems are at the workplace, and therefore you are going to make a presentation to the management, who is a sort of going to judge from what they are getting from their production, what they can give, because it's profit from production, wages, the workers have to take care of themselves or their family. So, to repeat, it is always the management and the workers, not always at war, where the management and the worker are able to work out their problems, work out their differences, work together, increase production, and when you increase production, you increase wages. That is the fundamental part of it.
Now we look at the role of the tribunal. The tribunal refers to the Industrial Dispute Tribunal, or IDT, which is a quasi-judicial body established in 1975 under the Labor Relations and Industrial Disputes Act. Their role is to arbitrate on all industrial disputes, referred to it by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. They have responsibility under the Act.
But let me tell you something about the Industrial Dispute Tribunal, which I had a lot to do as minister. Any worker can go to the Industrial Dispute Tribunal. You don't need a union. You don't need an attorney. And in previous days, you had to have a union. You had to have a highly paid attorney. Now you can go as a worker straight to the IDT if you have a dispute with the management.
Very important message to take away for our listening audience. The role of the IDT is here to serve you, not just as employee, but employer, standing in the middle to handle any dispute that you may have. One is able to approach the IDT directly without a legal representative.
And we have to point out that it has happened where the unions have totally failed at a case, where management win, and where management sometimes fail at a case and the workers win. And it's as if when you go to the IDT, you sign that whatever the IDT says is final. Unless you can find something legal that they did not follow, the Supreme Court would not disrupt. Cannot be amended by any local court.
So we encourage those out there with labor-related issues to call the IDT. Below we will have listed the numbers and contact details for the Industrial Dispute Tribunal and just how they may be able to help you in settling or managing a labor-related dispute that you may have.
But we must settle something. You have to go to the Ministry of Labor before you go to the IDT.
Right.
That the Ministry of Labor must fail to settle that dispute between the management and the worker before they see to go on to the IDT. And as I say, at that stage, you don't need an attorney to take you there. The IDT is independent sufficiently to deal with the disputes in the management and labor without anybody helping.
The Industrial Dispute Tribunal stands as a neutral between employer and employee.
Whose word is final?
Whose word is final.
Unless there's something legal that you can point out that they did not follow in their portfolio.
And there you have it, a brief look at labor relations and industrial dispute in Jamaica. Do join our community at our socials listed below. Thank you for watching.